So now we're going to do myofascial release on the front arm line. So this is basically the line of tissue and muscle from the sternum all the way out to the elbow. You're pretty much going to need a lacrosse ball or at least a baseball or something relatively small and round in order to get into some of these spaces. A foam roller is just a little bit too big. So just a couple of bucks, a lacrosse ball is a great investment. All right, so what we're gonna do is start on the pecs. Now, you probably won't be able to see this too well because I'm gonna be mashing up against the wall, but I'll obviously kind of talk you through it. So place the ball on the wall, and then of course it's just as easy as leaning into it. You're just gonna wanna go back and forth over the kind of top part of the pec and getting right kind of almost into that shoulder line. What I would recommend is at least 5 passes back and forth. Obviously more along the line of like 10 to 15 is probably gonna be a little bit better. Okay, but as long as you're maintaining a good amount of pressure, obviously that's kind of what we're going for here. After the pec, we're actually gonna get to rolling along the shoulder. So just going across the rotator cuff muscles, again, at least 5, more like 10 to 15 times. I'm going a little bit fast here. You probably want to take it a little bit slower, and of course stopping on any particular point that is particularly tight for you. Okay, so after the front of the shoulder, now we're going to go down the bicep. So this can be a little bit weird. You might actually want to do this either just manually, right, like so, or like on a table or something like that. But once you kind of get the hang of it, you can actually just do the same thing, pinning up against the wall, okay? So again, this is a little bit weird, but the bicep is a very tight muscle. You know, it's almost always in somewhat of a contracted form. So really just taking the time to get in some good pressure right there using the lacrosse ball, right on the peak of the bicep, and then right up here around the shoulder is usually tight, and then of course coming all the way down kind of almost to the pit of the elbow. So it is simple as that: pec, shoulder, and bicep line with the lacrosse ball.